Hello students, I hope all of you are doing great and now we are going to start the very sixth lecture of our chapter, that is coal and petroleum. Now in this lecture we are going to we have studied about coal, petroleum and natural gas until, and now we are going to study about the next topic, that is biogas. Now we have studied about all the other fuels. Now what is biogas? As you have, as from the name only, you can see that something, that a gas that is biologically prepared and that is prepared by the fermentation. So biogas we are going to talk about, and biogas is obtained from cattle dung and domestic waste. So biogas obtained from cattle dung or domestic sewage or domestic waste. So it is obtained from the process of obtaining biogas is anaerobic fermentation. Now what is anaerobic fermentation? We are going to talk about that also. Firstly, we are going to write biogas is obtained from the anaerobic is obtained from the anaerobic fermentation. Anaerobic fermentation. Anaerobic means without oxygen. Anaerobic means without oxygen. So the without oxygen fermentation of cattle dung and domestic sewage we obtain biogas from the anaerobic, like without oxygen fermentation. Fermentation means breaking down the molecules, and fermentation of cattle dung and domestic sewage. Now anaerobic fermentation is the fermentation in the absence of oxygen, or in the absence of air also we can say. Anaerobic anaerobic fermentation also means, it doesn't means without oxygen only, but it also means without air, means without air fermentation. And the in this a mixture of methane, the in this a mixture of methane a mixture of methane, that is CH4, carbon dioxide, that is CO2, hydrogen, is H2, and hydrogen sulfide, and hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide is H2S, is thus obtained. Hydrogen sulfide is thus obtained, and here methane is the main constituent, and methane is the main constituent in this mixture. So biogas is a mixture of methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and methane is the main constituent here. Methane is the main constituent. Now we are going to talk about that how the fermentation takes place. So the fermentation takes place in an underground tank. The fermentation of biogas, the fermentation to obtain the biogas is takes place in an underground tank. It takes place in an underground tank which is made up of bricks. In an underground tank, you have already seen this in also in an underground tank, and the tank is made up of bricks, made of bricks. And what happened here is the tank that is made up of bricks is called as the digester. The underground tank that is made up of bricks is called digester, called the digester. And a slurry of cattle dung and water is fed into the tank. A slurry means a mixture of cattle dung, a slurry of cattle dung and water. A slurry of cattle dung and water is fed into the tank, is fed into the tank, and on fermentation of the dung, biogas is evolved. When fermentation is done, the biogas is evolved and collected in the gas holder. So what happens here is on fermentation of the cattle dung, on fermentation of cattle dung, biogas is evolved and collected in the gas holder, and it is collected in the gas holder. Now we are going to look at how the tank look like. And so this is a floating dome biogas plant, and here as you can see the input organic material, that means the slurry, that means the slurry, that is a mixture of cattle dung and water, is poured into the tank, and here a digester is present, and the digester just ferment the slurry and digester do the fermentation. And an anaerobic fermentation basically, and a biogas is produced, and the gas is collected, and the waste material is secreted out from the tank. So this is how the process of formation of biogas is being done, and we use cattle dung and water here as a raw material, and we obtain biogas as an output. So it is very important to know that how the biogas is made, and it is made on anaerobic fermentation. It is made on anaerobic fermentation of cattle dung and water. So now with this, we are going to look at how this how this biogas plant work. And as we can see, there was a gas holder. So the gas holder is made of steel. The gas holder is made up of steel. and the gas holder made of steel floats over the slurry, and that is floats over the slurry, and the holder moves up when gas collects in it, and whenever there was gas in it, the holder just moves up. So what happens here is that as we the gas holder is floats over the slurry, and the holder moves up whenever there was gas collected in it. The holder moves up when gas collects in it, when gas collects in it, and moves down when gas is drawn from it, and moves down, and it automatically moves down when the gas is drawn from it. When gas is drawn from it. Also, this is an outlet pipe for the gas at the top of the gas holder. There is also an outlet pipe from which the gas is being collected. So there is an outlet pipe. As we can see, the waste products are going to the outlet pipe also, and the gas is also going. So there is an outlet pipe in which gas is being collected. Outlet pipe for the gas on the top of gas holder, on the top of gas holder, and larger plants can be established for a community, and that's why the larger plants can be established so that there should be much biogas for the whole community, and such plants can be put up in rural area easily, and these plants are very easy to put up in a rural area. That means they are manufacturing their own fuel. So such plants are easy, and such biogas plants can be easily can be easily put up in rural area, put up in rural area. Also, there are very measures that government has taken for the biogas, because it is a very innovative fuel, and it is a fuel that can be made by the farmers itself. So now we are going to talk what is the role of government here. So the government subsidized and promotes the establishment. The government used to give subsidies for the production or for the establishment of biogas. So subsidize the government subsidizes and promotes the establishment of biogas. It just promotes the establishment of biogas through various agencies. Through various agencies. There are various agencies that are also involved in the establishment of biogas plants. And as we all know that methane is the main constituent of biogas. So methane, the main constituent of biogas, Methane, that is the main constituent of biogas, burns to give carbon dioxide and water vapor. And it burns to give carbon dioxide, and water vapor. And it burns completely. The methane that is present in the biogas, that is burned completely. It burns completely, and there is no unburned carbon particles. That means soot, there is no unburned carbon particles. There is no soot. There is no soot. That means unburned soot means unburned carbon particles. There are no left out unburned carbon particles, and carbon monoxide are formed. And carbon monoxide are also formed. Monoxide are formed. So the reaction goes like this, that if we burn methane, that is methane is CH4, if we burn it, that means in the presence of oxygen, then it will form CO2, H2O, that is the water vapors, and it will give us heat also. So that heat can be used in various purposes. Now we are going to look at some questions. Now the very first question that we are going to look at is, name the gas which is formed when coal is heated in the absence of air. So we have already studied the when coal is heated. So when coal is heated in the absence of air, there is only one gas that is formed, and that is known as coal gas. When coal is heated, we have seen that when coal is heated in a test tube, then coal gas is formed, and the only gas that is formed is coal gas. The other are liquid and solid particles. Now the next question that we are going to look at is, what is the purest form of carbon? So what is the purest form of carbon? We have already seen in the coal procedure that the purest form of carbon is coke. The purest form of carbon is coke, and in this 98% carbon is present. 98% carbon is present, and it is even a better fuel than coal itself. And it has a high calorific value also. Better fuel means it has high calorific value. It has high calorific value than coal. Now, the next question that we are going to look at is, what is the main uses of coke? So coke has different uses, but the main use of coke is that it is used in the extraction of metals. Coke is used, it is used in the extraction of, it is used in the extraction of metals. Also, the next question that we are going to look at is, how many substances are found in coal tar? So we all know coal tar is a liquid. We all know that coal tar is a liquid, and we have studied that there are many substances present in coal tar. So there are about 200 substances that are present in coal tar. So coal tar has about or close to 200 substances, and it is obtained from when we burn the coal, and it is a black colored liquid. Coal tar is a black colored liquid which is obtained on burning of coal. It is a black colored liquid, and it has many other uses also. Coal tar is very, very useful, and it is used for leveling the road also. Now, the next question that we are going to look at is, can we use all our natural resources forever? So the question is that, can we use all our natural resources forever? So the answer would be, of course, no, because we can't use our natural resources forever, because they are exhaustible natural resources, and they are going to exhaust one day. So we are going to write, no, we cannot use our natural resources. We cannot use our natural resources forever. We cannot use the natural resources forever, because they are going to exhaust one day, because they are going to exhaust one day. That means no matter what we do and no matter what we don't do, but they are going to exhaust one day. And even if there are inexhaustible natural resources also, in the case of inexhaustible natural resources also, in the case of inexhaustible natural resources, we can't use them forever, because they are not suitable for the human usage. Because we can't use them forever, we can't use them forever, because they are unfit for human usage. Because they are, or they will become unfit, they will become unfit for human usage. They will become unfit for human usage. Now, the next question that we are going to look at is, can air, water, and soil be exhausted by human activities? No, the answer is no, that they cannot be exhausted by human activities, but they can be made unfit for human usage, as we have studied. So let's say water. Water cannot get exhausted, but maximum water is in our oceans, that is salty water. So we can't use that water, and sea water we can't use that water. So no, these cannot be exhausted at all. Air, water, and soil cannot get exhausted, cannot get exhausted, but they can be spoiled. That means we can spoil the air, we can spoil the water. That means that result in air pollution and water pollution. But they can be spoiled, and spoiled by human activities, resulting in resulting in resulting that they are unfit for human usage. That they are unfit for human usage. Now the next question that we are going to look at is, what is carbonization? So we have already studied the slow process of conversion of dead organisms into coal. When coal is formed with a slow process, that process is called as carbonization. So carbonization is the slow process. That means it is done in millions of years of time. So the slow process, the slow process of conversion of the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal, dead vegetation into coal is called as carbonization. Is called as carbonization. Now the next question that we are going to look at is, what is meant by destructive distillation? So the destructive distillation, it is a process of heating coal or petroleum. The process of heating, the process of heating coal, and if we heat coal in the absence of air, then it gets converted into coke. Process of heating coal in the absence of air, in the absence of air, to get to coke, to get coke, because coke has 98% carbon. To get coke is called as destructive distillation. It's called as destructive distillation. Destructive distillation. Now, with this, I hope this chapter is clear to you all. And now we are going to end the lecture here only. And thank you, everyone.